device. Here is, so we're going to get ready. Okay, so there is our, here's our. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Don Daniel, founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And today we're going to be answering your questions live on air, unscripted. Bring your questions today. So put it in the chat or come up to the stage. Listen, if you're on Clubhouse today, raise your hand, come up to the stage. Listen, even if you don't want to say anything, right? Raise your hand, come up to the stage. And if you have a filled out bio, all right, with a link to some social media, we will bring you up and then you can ask your question or just sit there and bring your audience. Okay. So anyway, we were just thinking about some of the things that we just don't do. All right. We just don't do when it comes to managing debt, some things that people really never thought of. Okay. And what I want to do today is just go over some of those things that you don't want to do. All right. So number one, have you ever thought about when you're getting a mortgage, putting a large down payment down? Should you do that? Should you put as large a payment down as you possibly can? All right. Should you do that? What do you think? Well, I can tell you the answer is no. Don't do it. Don't ever put a large down payment down. All right. So what about refinancing? All right. Just to get a lower interest rate. Should you refinance? Because right now people are coming into Yolanda says Michigan says, no, you shouldn't do that. Good morning to you, Yolanda. It's good to see you here. She's watching us on Facebook. Okay. So listen, you've got an interest rate and a mortgage you can afford. And then somebody comes along and says, listen, interest rates have dropped 2 points. Right now, interest rates are right around 7%. They're right around 7%. And let's say the interest rates drop to 5%. All the experts are saying you should refinance. Just because the interest rates drop to 5% from 7%, is that an automatic signal to refinance? Is that the best thing to do at that time? What do you guys think? Anybody? All right. Again, the answer is no. Listen, never refinance just to get a lower interest rate, because if you know what to do, you can actually pay off the loan faster and easier with a who's that coming on my stage?
Man, Don, I gotta come and shout joke, man. Gotta come give it an exciting morning. What's up, family? What's up?
Listen, you better trade in that red ticket. I know that's right.
How does that even work? Tell me.
Go up top, click on P.I.L.L Method, and then we'll let you into the waiting room. I promise I won't leave you in the waiting room that long.
All right, I just click on it. So let's see what happens there.
Okay. No, actually, Yolanda, that's Sean Lashley, founder of 10K Cards. So Sean, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself while you're here? Because listen, I know you're going to be gone in a hot second.
Yeah, man, Don, you know me very well, man. So first of all, good morning to everyone in the room. Shout out to everyone that's actually taking part in this conversation. I'm the founder and CEO of 10K Cards, guys, the digital business card that's being used widespread. And whenever you see Don put up ice10k.com, that's the digital business card that he's been supporting from day one. It's been working extremely well for Don and his community. And any professional or business owner out there that's not using a business card, you may want to get in touch with me, guys. If you look in the bio, my phone number is right. It's right at the top. It's better to send me a text message as opposed to just the back channel. So if you want to get a business card, a digital business card, and you don't already have one, feel free to step in with me. But Don, I'm just here to support you this morning, brother. We have a few excitement announcements to make, so I'll make towards the end of the room.
All right, listen, man, I appreciate that. So right now, Sean, today we're doing questions today. And listen, you see, I want you all to take a look at my card right now. Let's go to the card right now. It's at the top of the page. If you listen, I have several people watching us live online right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. All right. And we have several people in here right now on Clubhouse. If you have a red ticket in here, you have not cashed it in, go up to the top, click on P.I.L.L method and join the waiting room. We will let you in. I promise. We'll let you in. So here's what I want you all to know. Take a look at this, my video card, my new video card. It is amazing. All right. And Yolanda says, Don gifted me a 10K card. I'll never forget it. Thank you very much, Yolanda. But listen, go to ice10k.com right now and take a look. I'm putting it in the chat, ice10k.com. I'm kind of excited about this while I'm waiting for people to ask their questions. All right. So, and I'm going to go in there with you right now. All right, ice10k.com, and take a look at this. It is amazing. All right, so once you get there, the first thing you see, all right, is look at these. I got videos right there. And then if you look underneath the video, you can hit next. And then there's another video. And then, it's a short video, but then if you hit next, you get another video. Listen, this thing has been amazing for me. People see the card, they like what they see, and they want to get more information. And then listen, look at this. I've got a little button there that says become an affiliate. Become an affiliate. All right. Now, if somebody wants to know about that, somebody put a number 9 in the chat, and I'll tell you what it means to be an affiliate with the P.I.L.L method. All right. Go ahead. Put a number 9 in the chat if you want to know what it means to be an affiliate with the P.I.L.L method. Okay. So it's easy as this. If you click on affiliate, become an affiliate, you see it takes about 15 seconds to fill out. All right. 15 seconds to fill out, is absolutely free to you. And you click on how you want to get paid. Now, here's what you do, and you don't have to sell anything. This is how easy it is, okay? It's almost criminal how easy this is, Sean. So they will click on that, become an affiliate, and then they would learn what they can about the P.I.L.L method by watching our videos, and then they would look for people who are looking for a better way. Tell a story. Tell one of the stories you see on our lives or on one of the videos. Okay. You tell that story. Like, did you know you could, there's a way to pay off a whole mortgage in about 7 years without changing your budget? And if somebody says, I've been looking for something like that, that is so interesting to me. How do you pay off a mortgage in 7 years without changing your budget and without sacrificing lifestyle? How do you do that? You say, listen, I need you to go to P.I.L.L method and watch these videos on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search for P.I.L.L method. All right. And then watch some of those videos. I'm going to call you back in a couple of days. All right. They watch some of the videos. You call them back in no more than 2 days, no more than 48 hours. Call them back. And if they still want if they still want more information, then there's another button on there that says refer a friend. Look at that. Refer a friend. Refer them. You put your name as the referral partner. When they become a client, I'll pay you $300. $300. Sean, I don't think you have ever heard of anything like this. But if you send me a second one, now there's one caveat. They have to be at least $100,000 in debt. Please don't send me somebody with $2,000 in debt. Then you think I'm going to pay you $300. That's not going to happen. All right. So they have to have at least $100,000 in debt. Once they become a client, I'll send you $300. But you send me a second one in the same month. Guess what? I'll send you $400 for that one, Sean. You send me a third one. You send me a third one in the same month. Okay. So you got one for 300. You got one for 400. You send me a third one. I'll send you $500 for a third one in the same month. What? Yeah. So you got one for 3, you got one for 4, you got one for 5. Don't mess around and send me a fourth one in the same month, Sean. All right. 3, 4, 5. That fourth one is going to be worth $600. Oh boy. But if you send me a fifth one in the same month that becomes a client, I'll pay you $1,200 for that one for a total of $3,000. Sean, what do you think about that?
So if I'm hearing you clearly, you're paying individuals more to send you, the more customers they send you, the more they get paid. Not only just the more in terms of dollar-wise, but even the value per customer increases. Is that correct?
That is correct.
I love that, Don. I love it.
Listen, man, I got to plug in my computer here before it shuts down. There we go. I had to plug in my computer. Listen, Sean, as long as you've been doing this, have you heard of now, commissions are one thing, folks. When you're in sales and you get commissions, that's one thing. But this is an affiliate program. Sean, have you ever heard of an affiliate program that is as lucrative as this? What do you think?
Absolutely not, man. Don't even have me thinking of our commission system now. Jeez. Actually, the most structure to compete with you.
Wow. So listen, I've got some folks in here. I got Steve Mack. He's in here. All right. Let's go ahead and say hello and tell us where you're from, whether you're from in Clubhouse or watching us online. But I'm waiting for my first questions to get in here. And while we're waiting for our questions to get in here, I was talking about, refinancing. I was talking about down payments. All right. Let me talk about this right now. Have you ever heard, there's 30-year mortgages, right? There's 30-year mortgages. And then have you heard of a 15-year mortgage? Now I need you to tell me, which one do you think is better? A 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage? Tell me which one is better, 15-year or 30? And then I'll tell you then I'll give you the right answer. So go ahead, put some answers in. Steve Mack says a 30-year mortgage. All right. Anybody else? 15-year mortgage or 30-year mortgage? 15 or 30? What do you guys think? All right. Anybody else online or in Clubhouse? Talk to me. All right. KK says 15-year mortgage. All right. So I got a 30. I got a 15. Okay. And let me get one more answer. And then I'll reveal. I will reveal it to you which one is better, 30 or 15. All right. From either online or Clubhouse. Yolanda says 30. So that's the third one. Okay. I'll tell you what, folks, it's actually the 30. And I'll tell you why, Kay. You don't need permission to have a 15-year loan. That's why. So if you have a 30-year mortgage, and let's just say you don't know anything about the P.I.L.L method. All right. And all you have is you got your choices. You got a 30-year mortgage and a 15-year mortgage. You just know that on a 15-year mortgage, you're going to be done in 15, and your overall interest cost for 15 years is going to be less than for a 30-year mortgage. Okay. But guess what? Once you get your 30-year mortgage, all you have to do is find out what the 15-year mortgage payment would be, and you can make that 15-year mortgage payment on your own. You don't need a 15-year mortgage to make the 15-year mortgage payment. Okay? Listen, let me show you what I'm talking about. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go to YouTube right now on a secondary device, whether it's a second phone, a laptop, or a tablet. I'm going to put a couple of things in here so that you can see what I'm talking about. So we're going to share the screen. All right. And while we're bringing that up, something exciting is happening. You know that we've had a reduced schedule for this month, for the month of June. All right. We had a reduced schedule for the month of June. And let me change this up. All right. Oops, I got the wrong banner up. And there we go. And let me take this out. Nope, there we go. All right. So we've had a reduced schedule for the month of June because of vacations. July 5, we go back to our regular schedule. July 5, we go back to our regular schedule. And our first show, when we come back for a full schedule, we're going to be on Sunday, Wednesdays, and Fridays again. Sunday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Back, we're going to start back Wednesday, July 5. When we start back, I need you to spread the word. If you have a modified mortgage, if your mortgage has been modified, or you know somebody who has a modified mortgage, guess what? Most of those modifications have been modified to a 40-year mortgage. Yes, that's what happens. When you get a modification, it's actually most of the time a 40-year mortgage. I'm going to tell you, if you have a 40-year mortgage, if you have a family member that has a 40-year mortgage, if you have a friend that has a 40-year mortgage, you want to be on the live show at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Central Time. And if you can't be there live, make sure you're there for the replay. Okay? Because I'm going to show you how you can pay off that 40-year mortgage in about 7 years. And if you have a 40-year mortgage, say thank you. Say thank you if you've got a 40-year mortgage. Listen, I don't want you to get scared. I don't want you to get frustrated. I don't want you to be mad because it was a 40-year mortgage and they didn't really explain it to you that well. Let me tell you, if I had my druthers, if I had my way, they would be offering 40-year mortgages right now for first-time home buyers. Yes, because the things we could do with a 40-year mortgage is amazing. You want to see how you can benefit from having a 40-year mortgage. Okay, so do I have some hands coming up? Somebody raise their hand, want to come up to the stage? All right, so here's what I need you to see. All right, so we've got I'm going to put in a $300,000 mortgage online. All right, Steve Mack says he wants to come on up. Come on up, Steve. All right, and Sean's going to help me pull some people up too. All right, invite to speak. All right, let's invite him up. All right, Steve, you're coming up. All right, so we got a $300,000 mortgage at 6%. And so we got that. I'm going to bring up a second one. All right, we're going to bring up a second mortgage. Okay, we're going to duplicate this tab. And now we're going to do 180 payments, which would be 15 years. Okay, watch this. Okay, you're going to love this, Kay. We're going to calculate that. Now, my 30-year mortgage, my payment is $1,798.65 on my 30-year mortgage. On my 15-year mortgage, which is 180 payments, it's $2,531.57. That's the difference. 2,531 versus 1,798.65. Guess what, Kay? Is there anything that would keep you, if you had a 30-year mortgage, is there anything that would keep you from making the payment of 2,531.57 all on your own? Have a 30-year mortgage and make the 15-year payment. Listen, I need to hear from you all. Is there any reason why you couldn't do that? What do you think, Kay? You can still make the 15-year payment even though you have a 30-year mortgage. But guess what, folks? If things ever get a little tight, and sometimes things happen. There's a recession, a temporary loss of job. Anything could happen. But if you have that 15-year mortgage and your payment is $2,531.57, that's it for you. You have to make that payment. But if you have a 30-year mortgage, the payment is $1,798.65, but you chose to make a payment of $2,531.57, you're not stuck there. You can drop back when times get a little tough. You can drop back to that payment of $1,798.65 without having to refinance. How about that? Have you ever thought about that? What do you think about that, Kay? Is that a good idea? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Is this a good idea? If you want a 15-year, Kay says yes, yes, yes. Have you ever thought about that, Kay? Listen, I wish some more folks would come up to this stage and say hello. Steve, how are you doing this morning, sir?
Yeah, I'm great. Yourself?
Man, listen, I could not be any better today. I was live. I wanted to be live last Friday, but we had trouble, and I had to put up a replay. But you know what? I am so thankful to be able to have the replays. Over 230 shows that we have up that we can choose from to do a replay. Some of our greatest hits. We were able to do that so that there will still be a show in that place. We still have shows every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. We had that all throughout June, even though we were on vacation. So, Steve, what do you say today? What's on your mind, sir?
Oh, I hadn't seen you in a while, so it was good to see you. Popped in the room. I was like, whoa. So why don't you went over the schedule? So now I'm informed again. So I'll be there to support. Just going over the numbers. I was like going over the numbers.
Man, I like having you here. All right. You know why I like having you here, Steve, is because you have 419 followers. And as soon as you hit my stage, all 419 got a notification. I hope they saw it, so they follow you. Come on in here and learn something today. So listen, if you have a following, go ahead, come up to the stage, and somebody will see it, and then they can come in here and get this information as well. All right. Good enough. So Yolanda Sells Michigan, who's watching us on Facebook right now, says, Don, do you double your payment in a month, or do you pay twice a month? No. If you want to make you just figure out what the 15-year payment would be, and you just make that. Okay. Now you have turned your 30-year mortgage into a 15-year mortgage without having to get permission or have to refinance. Okay. You don't need to get a 15-year mortgage. If you want one, just start making the 15-year payment. It's as easy as that. Okay. When you refinance to get a 15-year mortgage, you got to pay a fee. Why pay a fee when all you have to do is make the payment? Come on. This thing is a game. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you what is going on in this finance world when we have not even had the opportunity to be educated on how loans work. Okay. I just want to share something with you today. I need you to, I was thinking about some stuff, and when it comes to this thing about borrowing money. I actually like borrowing money when you learn how to do it right. Okay? I like borrowing money when you do it right. All right. KK has a question here. She says, can I use this method to pay off an existing mortgage? Oh, yes, most definitely. KK, did you realize that right now we can figure out how much interest you have left to pay? Right now, I can figure out how much interest you have left to pay. And how would you like to be in a position where you can cut that interest cost by 75%, even on an established mortgage? Whatever you have left to pay, let's cut that by 75% and pay that mortgage off in 5 to 7 years. How would you like that, Ms. K? Yeah. Oh, man. Once you understand what's going on, we have not been taught. See, what I talk about here is not to entertain you. I am not here to entertain you. Some of the things that we talk about is actually quite entertaining when you see how these numbers work, but it's not to entertain you, it's to educate you. Not to entertain, but to educate. This is no small thing at all. What I share with you is truth. When you are entering into borrowing money, somebody is making money on that borrowed money. And the way that we have been taught to repay the money is the most inefficient way on the planet. Listen, if I was a lender, all right, if I was in the lending business, my goal would be, I need you to borrow money for as long as you can and pay me as much as you can. So all I have to do is make sure you never learn how mortgage interest is actually calculated and charged, so that I can make millions of dollars on my clients, because they don't know that they can actually pay 75% less interest. We've never been educated on that. So we tell you the truth about what's really going on, the truth about how being victimized through the lack of financial education. See, this is not just something that we do. And, if I do it one way or I do it another way, it's the difference is just going to be a few $100s or maybe even a few $1,000s. No, what I'm talking about is tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars difference. Our average client finds out when they have that mortgage, our average client finds out that the bank is overcharging them by $150,000 in interest on average. $150,000 you don't have to pay. Oh my goodness. What if you found that out? What if you found out that you were in a situation where you didn't have to pay $150,000? Would you like to know that? So, Ms. K, if you want to know more about how to do this, go to the link that you see above my head there, ice10k.com, and you'll see another link that says Get a Savings and Earnings Report. Let me break down to you how you're going to use that. And we're going to hear from Sean here in just a second. Okay? Because Sean has a special, Sean, get ready, man. Sean introduced me to something the other day. All right. And he told me about it, and it's absolutely amazing. All right. And I need you to hear it. So once we understand what's going on with these loans, all right, and how you can get a savings and earnings report and find out the month, day, and year you could be debt free. That's amazing. Within a 5 to 7 year window. What? Pay off 30-year mortgages in 5 to 7 years instead of 30 years to never? Only because we've been educated and we have some tools that can beat the bank at their own doggone game? You better believe that. Go to ice10k.com. Click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and put some of that on the screen. I forgot. I'm doing the whole show today and putting up all the banners. So let me put that up for you so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. Let me see here. Where's that? There it is. Savings and earnings report. There it is. It's on the screen right now. Get a savings and earnings report. Put in your information, but when you put in your cell phone number to confirm it, make sure your cell phone number has no spaces and it's right next to that number one you see there. We supply the +1. Make sure you put your cell phone number in there with no spaces, no dots, no dashes. All right. All right. Put your cell phone number right next to that one and then confirm your cell phone number. Then we're going to send you a text to that cell phone. Get the code from the text message and put it back into the program and confirm that. Then the program will let you know that your cell phone has been confirmed. Make sure we have your name, email, and zip code. All right. Put in how you heard about us and then click on that last button that says, yes, I want to save. That will let you into our financial form. Fill out the form and somebody from my staff will give you a call within 48 hours and confirm your information. Once your information is confirmed, we will produce a savings and earnings report for you. And if you want, you can also get a consultation with me. That we only charge $150 for a consultation, only $150. And guess what else we started doing, Sean? That $150 is satisfaction guaranteed. What do I mean by that? You must know and believe that when you have a consultation with us, that you got $150 worth of value or more out of that. And if you feel you did not, all you have to do is say, yeah, I'd like to have a refund, please. And before I hang up on that call, we push the button and send $150 right back. Sean, what do you think about somebody who says, I'm going to give you all kinds of value for $150 for an hour with me. And then if you don't feel you got the value, I send it right back. What do you think about that, Sean?
I think it's a very bold offer coming from the average individual. But for someone who has as much track record and past results as you do, I think it's confidence done. And because you're so confident in what your offer is, you're so confident in satisfying your clients, that you can proudly and boldly make that offer because you've always been a very value-driven guy. And I would say anyone that's actually listened to this offer, look at Don's video. You have over 200 something episodes done, if not more, on YouTube of clients. You also have a bunch of testimonials of clients that you served. So when a guy like you make a claim like this claim should be taken very serious, guys. Because at the end of the day, you're not just speaking off the top of your head, Don. You're speaking from experience. You're speaking from clients who you have serviced, clients who have gotten results from you, and most importantly, clients who have actually referred you to other individuals. So I would say to anyone that's listening, that's actually on the fence or thinking twice, look at the success, guys. Don't judge him on what he said. Judge him on the success you had. And then make a decision to actually get the consultation. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, Sean. Listen, man. Listen, but this card is so robust. All right, go ahead and do that. And I need you to take a look at when you get my card. When you get the card, click on it. You'll also see my book, which is an Amazon bestseller. My book is an Amazon bestseller, #1 bestseller on Amazon, 6 different times. 6 different times. Amazon bestseller 6 different times on Amazon. Get the book. Get the book today. All right. So you can learn more about it. I got a call from somebody who didn't even buy my book. They went to an event and somehow my book ended up in their in all the stuff that they brought to the event. When they got back home, they found my book in all the stuff that they had at the event and started reading it and gave us a call. Can you imagine? Didn't even buy the book, found the book, read the book, and then gave us a call. It is amazing how all of this begins to work. And if you click on my card, did you know when you click on my 10K card. Did you know that you can see over 200 episodes of how to pay off mortgages in 7 years from the video card itself? You know, Sean, listen, man, I'm so excited about this thing. Can you come on and tell the folks about what you have created here and the special offer?
You know, Don, even before I get into what we have created, I just want to share with the audience that you've been in Clubhouse now for over 2 years. And from day one, you have been using the digital business card. So before I even get into what the digital business card is, why did you choose 10K card as your service provider? Why did you choose it?
I chose it, number one, because of the service that I get. All right. I was amazed when I was first introduced to the card. Folks, let me tell you something. When I was first introduced to the card, somebody didn't call me and tell me this is something you could have. When I was first introduced to it, it had all my information on it already. It had my phone numbers in there. It had my social media in there. It had my website in there. It was already there. If everything was there, the only thing that I could think to say is, how do I get it? You know, I want that, because when somebody clicks on that, all I have to do is I can get a QR code. I can send it over to them. I can email it to them. I can text it to them. If I'm at an event, somebody wants my card, I don't have to carry off a bunch of cards. I can just type it in myself, or they can scan my phone with the QR code and they have my card forever. And not only that, Sean, when I make a change to my card, it changes all the other cards simultaneously to anybody I've given it out to over the last 2 years. Why wouldn't I do that, Sean? Why wouldn't I?
So you're telling me, Don, you did business with us because step one, we make it easy to put everything all in one place for you. That's the first thing I heard. Yep. The next thing is you did business with us because whenever you make one change, all the cards that you have given in the past automatically changes. So your client always have a real-time update of your information. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And Don, that is two foundations that we've built this company on. Our goal is not only to make it easy for clients to actually have the updated information of themselves out there, but it's to make it easy for them to present themselves to the world in a very professional manner. So all you do is you supply us with the information that you want to put on the card, guys. Our team of experts are going to put all of the contact points in place for you. Your website, your phone number, your email address, everything that's important to you, we put it all together on your 10K card, guys. And as I was speaking to Don yesterday, we're offering a promotion for the next 3 months where clients can get our product for only $10 a month.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yes, Don.
What did you just say? What did you just say?
Don, only $10 a month. And I'll tell you why. We find that there are customers that's in love with the products. We find the customers are in amazement of the product. But for whatever reason of the past, they weren't buying enough of these cars to give to their friends and family. So we wanted to find a way to get into the 8 million customers that's available worldwide, get us into the hands of 8 million clients, Don. So we've decided that we're going to start promoting the $10 a month option where clients can actually own the digital business card for only $10 a month. Because at $10 a month, Don, anyone can subscribe and become a member of us.
Wow. $10 a month. Sean, if I want to get a card like I have up here, you know, if I can get that, because I got it in the chat, I've got it online. I've got my ice10k.com. If somebody wants that, how do they get a card? How do they get it for $10 a month?
All they have to do, Don, is to go to the phone number in my bio, 347-951-0132, and just text me the number 10. You text me the number 10, guys. I myself personally, one of my team members, we're going to reach out to you, and we're going to make sure we start putting together this digital business card for you. Because at the end of the day, the world is chaotic and hectic enough as it is. You need to remove that side of things from your environment. Let us take care of that for you. And at $10 a month, having a dynamic tool like this, Don, it's an absolute no-brainer. So anyone of your audience member that's actually considering Get them a card like this. And in fact, Don, I'll make it even more excited for you. Just for your audience only.
Okay.
Text me ICE10K, and I'm going to have that $10 cover you for your first 2 months. So ICE10K will give you 2 months of coverage. So you're paying $10 a month, but the first month is on me. So ICE10K, you get $10 for the first 2 months, guys. And after that, it's only $10 a month. And you can be a proud owner of the digital business card. And also, Don, remember, if they want to upgrade to the Pro or the video card, we're going to have those options as well. So all they have to do for this morning is text me ICE10K, and we'll take it from there.
Wow. ICE 10K, and they get the digital card for $10 a month, but the first month is on you.
The first month is on us. So they're going to get 2 months for the price of one.
Wow.
The price of 1 month.
Two. Oh, my gosh. 2 for the price of 1. Listen, folks, you definitely want to do that. When I heard about it, I could not believe it. I could not, because I'll tell you what, I paid more than that.
Not only you paid a lot more than that, Don, but the fact that you've been using this now for over 2 years, it says a lot for your commitment.
Well, it
says a lot for the benefits that come from the product as well and your support.
Sean, it's not what I paid was not important. It's what I received. What I paid was not important. What I received is what's important. What I got from it, the ease, the idea that I didn't have to carry around a bunch of cards. You know, I did a presentation the other day right here in Huntsville, and they had 4 screens. I mean, big screens. All right. And then at the end of my presentation, I put my QR code up on the screen. It was huge. All right. And everybody pulled out their phones. And now they have I didn't have to listen. Do you know how hard it is to meet everybody at a conference afterwards? I didn't have to. I didn't have to hand out cards. I put my QR code on the screen. Everybody took out their phones, and now they have my card on their phone. Oh my goodness. Listen, how amazing is that? So
the good news about that, Don, most speaking engagements today, they all have a monitor that you can display, words, text, a QR code, or whatever. But what you have done is that you have cleverly tapped into the fastest way of sharing your information. So while you're speaking, everyone at the event would have had their phones on them. So all they had to do was to point their phone camera at the monitor, and then your card would pop up on their phone. So that's what you did right there. John was a genius hack. And, shout out to you, man. That's one of the fastest way to share information, brother. And you did it.
Well, thank you very much. So Kay, you have another question here. You said 5 years. Yeah, that's the average. If you've already been in your mortgage for a while, it is possible to pay your mortgage off in an average of 5 to 7 years, depending on how long you've been in it already. Our average client pays off in about 7. So I'd like to now, some people pay it off faster. Some people take a little bit longer. I'm giving averages. I'm not telling you definitively that you can pay a mortgage off in 5 years. It's possible. A lot of people do it. That is, I'm speaking in averages here. But if you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, how many years it's going to take you, how much interest you can save, it's all going to be based on how much interest you could save. And if we could save you, $150,000 or even $90,000 in interest, that means more of your money goes to where you intended it to go in the first place, to pay back the loan. You got that money. We're going to show you how to give it back to the bank without having to give them all of that interest. So, listen, are you kidding me? We've been in here for 46 minutes, and I've gotten 2 questions so far. Well, 3. I got 3 questions so far. Listen, this is question and answer day. Okay. ICE. This is Financial Fridays. ICE answers your questions. This is volume 4 of this. All right. This is show number 234. Sean, 234 shows. I remember, folks, you may think that I came up with this idea. Sean, I want to tell you, Sean told me, Don, People need to see what you're doing. They need to see your numbers. Sean told me you need to go online and let people see the numbers. That was 234 shows ago. It is amazing what this information can do for people. All the free content that we've given away. So don't sleep on this opportunity, because if you call me, if you call my office to get I'll answer these questions the exact same way if you call me and set up an appointment for $150 for the first hour. If you put your question in the chat or come up to the stage, I will put as much time into your questions as I would if you had called me for $150. So now's the time. Ask your question. All right. Get it for free. Because if you call my office, they're not going to put you through to me until you set that appointment and that fee is paid. So listen, get it while you can get it. All right. Get it while you can get it. Anybody else have any questions? Come up to the stage, raise your hand, or put it in the chat. All right. So, Sean, what's new? Listen, are you headed to any what is it? Any networking events? What are you doing? What are you doing for networking events?
Beautiful. So we have a few upcoming events in July and August, sorry. But what we are doing for networking events, Don, is, it's so common to go to networking events and you're running up and down the event trying to connect with clients. I think that's very disingenuous, and I don't think enough value is added when you take on that model. So one of the things that we have created, Don, is a networking card for events, where when you go to an event, you can take your time and you can connect with the few clients, few individuals at that event. But rest assured, when you leave the event, you're going to be connected to everyone that was at the event. Because what we're offering to the organizers of events right now is a product called the Event Networking Card. With the Event Networking Card, by the push of one button, you can see all the speakers that was at the event done. By the push of another card, you can meet all the guests that was at the event. The push of another card, you can meet all the organizers of the event. And by the push of another card, you can meet all the sponsors of the event. So whenever you go to the event from now on, this need to run around and try to meet everyone and get exhausted and miss out on meaningful contact, there's no need for that anymore. Be present to the event, interact with individuals that you come into contact with, create a meaningful connection, and leave the event knowing that everyone that was at the event is now in the palm of your hands through the Event Networking Card. So we're promoting this product like crazy for event owners and also people who actually have event spaces as well. So if they have event space and they want to include this in their offer, they can offer this to their clients as well. So these are the things that we're excited about, Don. And we've built a company on connecting individuals. And we've been growing with that philosophy very well. So I'm very excited. I'm also going to be spending some more time on the Clubhouse promoting what we're doing, because Clubhouse has been very good to us.
Wow. Listen, I think, folks, you need to take advantage of that. Sean, you have something in your system called custom domains. What's your custom domain?
My custom domain, Don, is ceoshawn.com. ceoshawn.com.
CEOSEAN.com.
.com. There you go.
All right, can you put that at the top? Go ahead and replace that. We're gonna put
I'll put it to the top right there now. Right. Edit link, CS, boom. There you go, Don.
All right.
And the reason we did the ceoshawn.com, initially when we came on, I was advised by Bam.eco, who's in the audience right now.
Yep.
To start a promotion for ice10k.com, adding 10k.com next to the first name of the client. So we did that for the first 10,000 clients, Don, which you're definitely one of them. And what that has done now is it's co-branding you with 10k cards.
Mm-hmm.
So we offer two models. A, we want to co-brand the client with 10k cards, and then we also want to individually brand the client. So we are operating with two models. We can either co-brand you with us, or we can brand you by yourself. Now, you highlight something that's extremely important with the co-branding, Don.
Yes.
Do you want to touch on that from your words to the audience?
Listen, man. What I know about the internet, okay? What I know about the internet is not very much. What I don't know about the internet, you could fill an ocean with. All right. But here's what I do know. Here's what I found out. Because there are so many people with your card that are out there, when you search my name, my 10K card comes up. Okay. My 10K, because there's so many people out there with it. So when you go ice10k.com, when I put in the ice10k.com, it's amazing. I get the benefit of all the other clicks on a 10K card that are out there, and it just boosts my stuff right to the top of the search engine. If you search P.I.L.L method right now on any search engine, P.I.L.L method stuff takes up the whole first page. On any search engine out there right now, search P.I.L.L method right now. I dare you. Go ahead and do it. Bing, Dogpile, Yahoo, whatever it is, DuckDuckGo. Okay. P.I.L.L method takes up the whole first page. And it was the 10K card that helped to do that. Because of all the other clicks I get to benefit from. I still don't understand it. How somebody clicking on somebody else's card that I've never even met helps my SEO. Sean, I don't know if you want to break that down or not, but I listen, I don't know how to explain it, but it works for me.
Because Don, you came in with a spirit of, oh, how can I add value? How can I help 10K cards to grow? And because that was your mindset and that was your energy, you became a part of the rapid growth that we experienced over the years. So because you were willing to support 10kcards.com by getting the ICE 10K, everyone that got the 10K attached to it, it helped to push your algorithm as well. So it's not rocket science. You came with a spirit of support, and that spirit of support ended up serving you in the end. Okay? I don't want to hog the stage. Let me give it back to you.
All right. Well, thank you. Listen, folks, I'm going to ask you one last question, Sean, because I know you got to go. And let me ask you one. Do you need a business to have a 10K card?
Absolutely not, Don. If you are a professional, if you have a special talent, you might be a songwriter, you might be a singer, you might be a chef, you might have a hobby on the side and no one knows about. But if you put all of this together in one place and you get the right introduction, Don, that's how you can start growing and expanding who you are and what you do. People need to know who you are and what you do so that way they can support you. Because when you're constantly adding value, the good people of this world want to add value back to you. And the only way for them to add value back to you is to know what field you're in. So whatever you're doing, guys, put it out there. You never know where your next customer is going to come from. You never know where your next big contract is going to come from.
People wanted to know how they could get a savings and earnings report from, and I give them my card because it's so easy to read. Everything is right there. They buy a book. They didn't ask me about the book. They bought a book. Not only that,
let me tell you why that's so special, Don.
Okay.
Sometimes we might think we know what people want, but we have a belief if you put everything in front of the client will make the decision that's right for them. So if someone listened to one of your presentation and they didn't get everything that they want from your presentation, they can easily tap into your book and learn everything that the author had to put in place for them. So that's the last thing I want to leave it, man. So instead of you trying to push a specific item to a client, put everything you're involved with in front of the client and let them make a decision what service or product is right for them. Back to you, Don.
Wow. So listen, I've had folks who came to me for one reason and ended up booking me for a speaking engagement or bought a book or signed up to become an affiliate, or maybe they did everything. Maybe they got, and then maybe they became a client. And when they become a client, they're our client for a lifetime. A small fee, one-time fee, you're a client for life, and you can use the program over and over and over again. And now that all of my, over 200 shows can be viewed from my my video card. It is a true video card. When you go to ice10k.com and you click on that thing, and you can see all my videos right there on your phone from the card. Oh, and not only that, but they all have titles. All the titles are there. All the titles are there. It's amazing how this thing, right? Just one card encompasses all of this. I don't know any digital card that does that. Any digital card that does that. So I'm clicking on my link right now. Go to the link. It says here at the top. Go to link. All right. I'm on there, and there's two ways to get to all of my videos. Okay. So you can click on Ice 10K Live. All right. That's the third button down. Or you can go all the way down, look at and see, and click on the button over on the left that says all episodes. Okay. All episodes. And then when you get to the all episodes or Ice 10K Live, then, oh my goodness, there it is. Episode 229, Pill Method Explained. What does it mean? Episode 228, Finance Fridays, Volume 1. Episode 227, how to cancel 80% of your mortgage interest payments. 80% of your mortgage interest payments right there. All right. Episode 226, interest rate. The interest rate quoted is not the interest rate you pay. Okay. All these right there on the card. That to me is absolutely amazing. Do you know how powerful a tool that is when people, because when they know you, they get to trust you, and then they want to do business with you. And Sean, my wife tells me when she hears this, let me tell you what she tells me, because I talk to people on the phone because they watch all the videos. They see this interaction. And a lady told me yesterday, she said, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity because they see the information out there. They see me online all the time. They see these videos and they said, I feel like I'm talking to a celebrity. And I tell my wife that. She says, oh yeah, take out the trash.
There you go. That's our wife have that power, Don. Our wives have that power.
So I don't even bother. Said, honey, I'm a celebrity. Yeah, take out the trash. But folks, I'm telling you, to have this type of power so people can get to know you, all right, get to know your information, and they see the numbers and they trust the information. Do you know people don't even bother asking a whole lot of questions after they get the information from this card, and then go through it all? All the questions they would ask, all the skepticism that they have, they're not looking to see if they want to do business. They say, when can I get started? Because they've already made up their mind. How powerful is that? To get people who are calling you that have already made up their mind that they want to do business with you. Sean, what have you created here, man?
A simple way for people to connect.
All right, folks, let me see here. I'll just see if I have any questions. David Baker's in the house. All right. Do I have any other questions? Because listen, this is Finance Fridays. All right. But we'll be back. We've got another show coming up on Sunday, which is going to be a replay. But on Wednesday, I'm going to put it out here again. On Wednesday, we're going to be talking about 40-year loans. 40-year loans. Okay. And having you were modified for whatever reason, you got a modification. And most of the time when they do a modification, it's a 40-year loan. Let me tell you how I'm going to show you how to make that 40-year loan a blessing. Yep, that's what I said. A blessing. 40 years? I know people who've got 30-year mortgages that never pay them off, but now I got a 40-year mortgage. What in the heck happened? Yeah, Let me show you how they did you a favor by putting you in a 40-year mortgage. That's going to be July 5. You want to tune in for that show, and you want to share that show with other people. All right. So KK says, can you ask the lender for a 40-year mortgage? You know, they're becoming more popular. So whatever lender you're with, all right, so on your next mortgage, ask them, is there a way I can get a 40-year mortgage without having to refi into it or get a modification? Ask your lender. All right, let's see if we can. If enough people ask, they'll start offering them. All right, because houses are getting so doggone expensive now. Other countries have gone to 40-year mortgages. If you are a real estate investor and you're into commercial property, they're already being offered. So you never know when a company is going to start offering a new product. And a 40-year mortgage is just one of those products. So never assume. I never assume anything. The worst they could tell you is, no, we don't offer 40-year mortgages. But if they do, you will definitely contact us. I will show you how you can benefit from a 40-year mortgage on your next mortgage. Never get a 30. I'm sorry, never get a 15, never get a 10, never get anything less than a 30. But if they offer you a 40, you better jump on it with both feet. They are amazing, and you want to see what I'm going to introduce to you next Wednesday on the 5th about 40-year mortgages. You want to know this. And the reason why we spend so much time on this is that what we're being taught to remedy the situation, our lending situation, our loan situation, we're actually being conditioned to be complicit in our own victimization. That's how terrible this is. What I'm talking about, folks, is financial violence. That's what's going on here. Financial violence. And we don't even know that we are being victimized. We don't even realize it because everybody gets a loan this way. Everybody gets a mortgage this way. And nobody's complaining about it because everybody does it. So when you tell people you can actually pay off that mortgage, that 30-year mortgage in 7 years because you don't have to pay all of that interest, then they start thinking, well, won't somebody get mad? Won't somebody be upset? Will they let you do that? Pull out your mortgage papers. Go to the mortgage note page. You will find a statement that says this is your right, the right to prepay, the right to pay it off early. That's what that means. It's written in your contract. You don't have to ask permission. It's your right to do this. Stop giving the bank all of that money. Stop paying twice for your house. Stop buying a house for the bank and a house for you. You don't have to. See, the way we borrow money, we pay it back in the most inefficient way possible. That's how it's set up, which makes the lender the maximum amount of money they can make. The way to deal with this is not the cessation of borrowing, because there are gurus out there, so-called gurus, that say borrowing money is bad. Cash is king. Borrowing money is bad. Listen, don't listen. Don't you believe that? Don't you believe that? Don't go down that road. Borrowing money is not bad, because if borrowing money was bad, let me point something out to you, and you tell me. Wherever you live, who owns the largest buildings downtown? Wherever you live, where do you live? Who owns the largest buildings downtown? Put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section if you're online. Who owns the largest buildings downtown where you live? Somebody tell me. I'm just going to wait. I need some participation here.
I don't want to get kicked off the app again, Don. So I'm not gonna call them. Let me have someone else answer. The
Oh,
entities, Don. The entities, companies.
okay. What kind of companies? What kind of
Oh
companies?
boy, Don, you pushing me. You're
No,
pushing
no,
me.
no, no. I don't. I'm not
Big
talking
companies, Don. Big companies,
right,
organizations.
organizations. Okay. What kind? What kind? What kind? What kind?
All right, you asked for it, man. So okay, my bad.
No, not who
Oh,
owns them. What kind of institutions are they? Ah, there it
is
is.
it gov-
Miss
you tell me,
Bradford
private
said.
institutions? Let me hear you.
Miss Bradford said so. She says it's the bank. The bank.
Exactly,
Banks
exactly.
are the largest. They have the largest buildings downtown. Banks. Okay, now here's what they do. Did you know banks were the biggest borrowers in town? So if borrowing money is a bad thing, if borrowing money is a bad thing, why are the largest buildings owned by institutions that do nothing but borrow our money? They're the biggest borrowers in town. And when they borrow our money, what do they do with it, ladies and gentlemen? What do they do with that borrowed money? What do they do with it? All right. What are they doing with that borrowed money? They borrow and then they do something with the money that they borrow. They reinvested, David said. They reinvested. They lend it out to other people and they make huge profits with our money. And then they turn around and pay us pennies on the dollar for the use of our money. So if lending was bad, stop listening to these gurus that tell you that borrowing money is not the way to go when the whole system, our whole society is based on it. So what can you do? Is it possible that we can take a page out of the bank's book and can we borrow money, make a big profit or benefit from that money, and then pay the bank pennies on the dollar for the use of that money? You better believe we can. You can borrow money. All right. Sean is getting ready to get out of here. Okay. He's putting messages in there. He says, love you guys. Stay connected. CEOSean.com. Go ahead, contact him, ladies and gentlemen, and get your card for $10 a month. And one $10 will get you 2 months. One $10 will get you 2 months. Go ahead.
That's only if they text me ICE 10K, Don. If they text me ICE 10K,
okay.
We're gonna cover the second month for them.
Okay.
And thank you so much for having me on the stage as usual, Don, being a part of the community. But I have another engagement to run off since 9 minutes ago. So I just want to say thank you so much, guys. Love you guys, appreciate you, and let's stay connected. And shout out to everyone in the audience here. See my boy David is in the building, always supporting from day one. Bam.eco, Reggie. And if I get into the name call, I'll get into trouble. So shout out to everyone in the room, guys. All right, Captain Don, thank you so much, man. Cheers. Over now, Steve.
All right, man. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you, folks. Listen, Sean, listen, don't miss out on that opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So listen, folks, I just get so excited about what we're doing here. The key to making money through lending is making lending inefficient to pay it back. That's what we're doing. Anything that the bank offers you, listen to this now, anything that a bank offers you to save you money, you need to be super skeptical about it because that's not why they're in business. They're not in business to save you money. They're beholden to their shareholders, not to the depositors. They're beholden to the shareholders, and the shareholders want to make money. If you are investing in a bank, do you want to hear that the bank you're investing in is telling people how they can save money? Here's why. Because if a person is saving money dealing with a bank, who's losing money? If the bank is offering you a way to save money, who has to be losing money? Because you both can't make money. If somebody's saving money, somebody's losing it. Who has to be losing money if your bank is offering you a way to save money? That's right. The bank has to be. The bank has to be. So why would a bank do that? Why would a bank offer you a way to save money when they would be losing money? So look into it deeper. Ask me the question. I'll tell you how the bank is making money when they're at the same time telling you that you're saving money. Not only telling you that you're saving money, you actually believe that you're saving money. And that's why you buy that product or engage in that service. And the bank just made a ton. The bank just made a ton. So I want you to know the best way to borrow money. The best way to borrow money. Does anybody know the best way to borrow money is at 0% interest? 0% interest is the best way to borrow money, where you don't have to pay any interest. I absolutely love that. The next best way to borrow money. If the best way to borrow money is at 0 interest, what's the next best way? Using the P.I.L.L method and then paying the least amount of interest that's mathematically possible for you. I don't care about the interest rate. What we care about is the interest cost. You want to pay the least amount of interest cost. We are the next best thing to 0 interest. We're going to get you as close to 0 interest as you possibly can get with the finances you're working with. And I'll guarantee it. I'll guarantee what we're talking about. Yep. In writing. That's right. Guarantee it in writing. That we're going to get you the least amount of interest that's mathematically possible if you follow our program. I'm telling you, that's the next best thing to 0 interest, folks. So let me listen. Do we have any more questions? Because we'll end the show early. If I don't have any more questions come up, I got Reggie, I got Bam in here. Thank you all for being here today. Let's see who else. Let's see what else can I. What other notes do I have here? The best way to borrow money. Okay, eliminating the maximum amount of interest that makes. Listen. All this is math, friends. This is not magic. It's just math. It's not magic. It's just math. And we have a cloud-based AI computing system that does all of the math and guides you like financial GPS that gets you out of debt. Yeah. Tells you exactly what to do, how much money to move, what month to move it in, what day of the month to move it on, which loan to attack, and then we'll figure out for you how much interest you just saved with that one move. This is where the banks have us at a disadvantage. It's called interest consumption. How much interest are you consuming each and every month? Do you know? Have you ever tried to add it all up? Did you know that the average family, even well-to-do families, I mean, they make good money and they pay their bills on time every month. They travel whenever they want. They have high limits on their credit cards, low utilization. Okay. But the average family, even then, pays 35 to 39% of their take-home pay on interest payments alone. That's how they're making money here, ladies and gentlemen. 35 to 39% of your take-home pay pays interest. Can you imagine what that is times millions upon millions upon millions? Listen, I'm doing a study right now. I'm putting together a presentation on what our team is able to gather. How much interest, mortgage interest, how much mortgage interest is paid just by Americans in 1 year. And the numbers we are coming up with are staggering. I mean staggering. How much money they're making on interest from mortgages in just 1 year, all because we've never had a class on how they're doing it. Because once we have that class, did you know you can cut your interest cost by 75 to 80%? You don't have to pay that. And because you don't pay that all that interest, more of your money goes to pay back the loan. Folks, it's just math. That's why I've dedicated my life to this. This is why we've done over 230 some shows. This is why we're doing what we're doing. Somebody needs to tell the truth about how these loans work. So ask your question today. Ask your question today. All right. Let's see. Information. Thank you for the information. I requested your report. This information is very helpful. I look forward to speaking with someone. I have provided my contact info. So, Ms. Bradford, I hope that we'll take a look at that and make sure that when you sent your information in, you hit submit on your financial form. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find you in here. Make sure that you hit submit on your financial form. Okay. She said, yes, she did. All right, good. Someone will be calling you today. All right. All right. So listen, once I get off the show, listen, I'll tell you what, I'll look for it. I will look for your information, Miss Bradford, and I'll give you a call. How do you like that? I'll give you a call myself. All right. Sometimes I actually pick up the phone and make phone calls. So anybody else have anything they want to say about the P.I.L.L method? Any questions either online or in Clubhouse? Listen, even if you just want to come to the stage and say hi. I see William in here. What's going on, Mr. William? Right here in Huntsville. All right, William Bush. Thank you for coming in here today. So any questions? Any comments? All right, because I only have a couple of more notes left that I wanted to go over today. The reason why, can I tell you a little bit about real estate investors? Real estate investors are leaving millions of dollars on the table. They're buying the property right. Some even buy it with no money or little money down. And they're using all sorts of creative ways to acquire property. And they're renting the properties. They're doing subject twos. They're doing lease options to buy. They're making tons of money on this. Okay. So I've got Angelique Brown that raised her hand. Okay. Invite to speak. All right. Angelique, invited you up. You don't have a picture though. All right. Did you have a question? Miss Angelique, did you have a question? I guess not. Maybe you just wanted to sit on the stage and because right now you have 47 followers. So all 47.
Hi,
Hey there.
this is Angelique. I apologize. I was trying to come off mute.
Yes.
Um, can I ask a question now?
Most certainly. This is your show.
All right, thank you. So we are in the process. Just yesterday, got an approval for a refinance. This is on our primary home, and the rate was 5.125, I believe. I'm not sure, but it's a little over 5%. And I did not ask. So you were saying something about asking if they offer a 40-year mortgage. So right now we just in the approval process. So we have to submit some documentation and all of that. But should I, at this point, ask for a 40-year term and then connect with you to see how to follow this method to get it paid off
Okay, Miss
early.
Angelique.
I'm just trying to figure out. I came in late.
That's okay. That's
So,
okay. Listen, you want our help in all of this. Okay. You want to work with us. What we don't want to do is give you a little bit of information and then send you out to the wolves so that they can eat you alive. You want to work with us and have us right there with you, even on a 3-way call, helping you to manage this whole situation. Okay. That's number one. All right. Number two, what we need to find out is when interest rates are actually hovering around 7%, how did you get 5.125? Okay.
well, this is a lender that we've been with.
Mm-hmm.
We just doing a refi
I
with
understand.
them.
Here's what we need to find out,
Okay.
because based on the evidence, and I could be wrong, but based on the evidence, you actually are in your closing costs are paying extra money to get that interest rate. It's called
Okay.
points. It's called buying points. So you want to find out
Okay.
what your closing costs are going to be, and you ask them, are we paying extra money to get this 5.125 when interest rates are hovering around 7%? Because here's the
Okay.
thing. What's the interest rate do you have that you have right now?
3. It's 3 something. The
3%.
low 3s.
Okay. So
Mhm.
you must be refining to take some cash out.
Well, that was the intent.
Right.
But honestly, we got some debt that we need to take care of. So it's really
Right.
just
Yeah.
paying off some debt.
Well, yeah, that's cash. You're cashing out to pay off some debt. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so if you knew that the interest rate was 7, would that be as attractive to you to refi to go into a 7-year, to a 7% mortgage?
Well, after listening to you, it probably would be.
Yeah, well, yeah, after listening to me. But before you heard me, if they told you the interest rate was 7, you'd say, I don't know, right?
Right.
So they
Right.
say, oh, we can get you 5.125 when all other banks are talking about 7%. Well, the only way you can do that is to purchase the points. Okay.
Okay.
So you want to work with us. So let me give you my I'm going to give you my office number. Okay.
Okay.
Which is, you have something to write with?
I don't, but if you tell me, I'll make a note on my phone.
Okay. It's 256. I'll put it in the chat as well. Okay.
Actually, I can't see, so I can't
Okay.
tell what's in the chat. So
Oh,
you
okay.
call it out, that's fine.
All right. 256 886 1867.
256-886-1867.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. All right. And then my digital card is ICE, the number 10, the letter K.com. You can get all of our information there as well. Let's talk about your situation and see what the banks are doing to enrich themselves based on what we don't know about the process. Okay. Reggie Farrell says here, interest rate versus interest cost. Wow. It's no wonder big banks own high rises in every major city. Can't go wrong when you legally follow the money. Knowledge is truly power. Thanks, Don. And thank you, Reggie, for saying so. All right. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So, listen, do you have any other questions for me, Miss Angelique?
No, I don't.
Okay. So listen, what we want to do is show you that you may not have to, again, this may be a surprise, you may not have to refinance to pay off your debt faster and cheaper. Now, if you definitely need to increase cash flow, have more money left at the end of the month, that's totally understandable. But some people say, well, if you refinance, pay off some of that debt, we can give you an extra, they are promising you an extra $500 a month or an extra savings of between $500 and $1,000 on your payments every month. Is that what you're getting?
Yeah, it's actually a little over, it's about six something,
Exactly.
almost 700.
Almost $700 a month. All right, they're saving you, but I'm going to show you what that's really costing you on the back end. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and I'll be glad to go over that with you. And you said we are you and who else? Who's the we?
My husband.
Ah, okay. I'll be glad to go over that with you. And anytime you want us to put something on the screen so that you can see it here, let us know. Okay. And we'll be glad to do that for you. So, based on what you said, it sounds like you're visually impaired.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I am.
All right. So that's why I'm not going to put it on the screen for you right now. Okay. But I'll be glad to talk to you about it. About what's really going on behind the scenes, folks. See, here's what's basically happening. All right. And I'll try to paint a word picture for what's actually happening. When you refinance, okay, they generally refinance you to a new 30-year loan. And it's not the interest rate that lowers the payment. It's dividing what you owe over a new 30-year loan. That's number one. Number two, you pay a little bit extra to get that lower interest rate. We want to find out how much extra they're charging you to add to your closing costs. Then they add the closing cost into the loan plus what you're taking out of equity to pay off the other debt. The high interest, they call it paying off the high interest debt. You know, like maybe some of the cards are 17%, maybe they're 20%. And some of these credit cards get up to 29%. So we're paying off those debts with this money, but we think we're borrowing it at 5.125. Okay. So if we can, I can give you a little bit of information. Let me put this on the screen so other folks can see. I'm putting this on the screen. All right. We're adding this. Let me change my banners. Got to change my banner here. All right. Put this in. I want this one. There we go. All right. So when it's all said and done, when you take the cash out, about how much will you be borrowing? About. It doesn't have to be exact.
About 390.
390. Let's stop there. 390. Okay. At 5.125. Okay. 5.125. So here's what we're looking at. 5.125. If anybody wants to see this, go to YouTube right now on a different device. You can see these numbers I'm putting on the screen. 390,000 at 5.125. Now, I'm just going to call out some numbers here. All right. Let's just say that your closing cost, part of the 390 is going to be somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000, just the closing costs. Excuse me. I got to get a drink of water. Be right back.
Okay.
Okay, so now once you get that 390 at 5.125, when we get to the summary, here's what we're going to find out. To borrow $390,000 at 5.125, the bank wants, over 30 years, $374,000 in interest. What? How was 374,000 5% of 390,000? Well, it's not. Here's what's really going on. The amount of interest that they want over 30 years is 96% of what you borrowed. That's what 5% really means. 5.125 really means 96.015%. That's what you're going to be paying back. That's number one. Right? Number two is when we start paying back on this mortgage, what you added into the mortgage has to be paid off first, because you're paid down to a certain amount and you're taking a certain amount of cash out, which is added on top of the loan that you have now. So to pay it down to where you were before, you have to pay that off first. So let's just say that just the closing cost is $10,000. Did you realize just to pay off the first $10,000 on the mortgage takes 21 months? 21 months. You know how much interest you'll pay on the first $10,000 over 21 months? $34,500 on the first $10,000. So what if you took out about, I don't know, I'm just going to call out a number. I'm going to say 30,000. Okay. We took out $30,000 to pay off some debt. To pay off that $30,000 to get back to where you were, it actually takes 58 months, almost 5 years, 2 months shy of 5 years. And the interest on that 30,000 is $93,000. So what we're trying to do is pay off some high interest loans, and some of it as high as almost 30%. Okay. But let me tell you, if you borrow $10,000, if you borrow $10 from me, and I say, pay me back $10 in interest, how much interest am I asking for? What's the interest rate I'm asking for?
100%.
100%. 100%. Does it matter if I call it 5%?
No.
No, it doesn't, does it? No, it's really 5%. But you're going to say, no, you want $10 back on a $10 loan. That's 100%. Don, I don't care what you call it. So if you borrow $30,000 to pay off some other debt, and you pay $30,000 in interest on that $30,000 loan, isn't that 100%?
Yes.
What if you double it and you pay back $60,000 interest on a $30,000 loan? Isn't that 200%?
Yeah.
What if you triple it? Because in this case, to pay back just $30,000 borrowed at 5.5% on the loan that you're talking about, 5.125, $93,100. That's a 300% loan all day. This is why I'm so glad you showed up today. This is why I'm glad that you're going to give us a call and let us help you with this. You may not have to refinance at all to pay off everything you owe in about 7 to 10 years, even without refinancing. Let's take a look at it.
Okay.
All right. Sound good?
Yep.
I am so glad that you came to ask your question. Do you have another question for us, Miss Angelique?
No, that was it.
Well, thank you very much.
I will be in touch.
Please do. Please do. I am so glad. Did you see what happened here, folks? For free. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of information you get from the P.I.L.L method. We're going to tell you the truth, because when a bank says, I'm going to save you $600 a month, but they're going to charge you 300% interest on the money you take out of the bank to pay off other debt, that's not a bargain at all. Okay. It makes them a ton of money because we're not looking at the overall cost of borrowing the money. I love what we do here today. Does anybody else have any other questions or any comments? Come to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Ask your question or your comment, or type it in the chat. What did you guys listen? Did you guys get anything out of that? Did you like that one? If you liked it, put a number 9 in the chat. If you like that example, put a number 9 in the chat right now. Okay. KK says 9. All right. Let's see what we're doing online here. All right. Farrell says 9. He says, Reggie Farrell says, brilliant. Steve Mack says 9. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming to the end of our show. We've been here an hour and a half. I've answered some questions. If I had more questions, I would go right up to the top of the hour, but I'm not getting any more questions. And I listen, the last thing I want to do is bore you. Okay. But let me leave you with this. Let me leave you with real estate investors are leaving money on the table. How real estate investors are leaving money on the table. I'm going to use this mortgage I have in here right now. $390,000 at 5.125. And let's say that the real estate investor is lending this, they're renting this house out. Okay. And they're making money. They bought it low. All right. And then what they did was they bought the thing low. All right. They rehabbed it. Okay. And when they rehabbed it, it was worth a lot more money. So what a real estate investor will do is buy the house for around, $175,000 to $200,000 or something like that. They put $25,000 into it, fix it up, so it's worth $300 or over $300,000, and then they'll cash out, refi, and get their cash out. All right, and then go buy other property. So now they have this loan, but they don't care because now they have a renter in that's paying back the loan for them. But here is where real estate investors are not taking advantage of this loan. Let me show you the very first payment where $457 goes to principal, $1,665 goes to interest on the very first payment. Let me show you what happens when you prepay just a little bit of money out of your profits, real estate investors. So if you take a look at payment number 1, let's call it January, and we look at February's principal payment of $459.83. What if the real estate investor, out of all the monies that they're getting in on their property, said, on this one property, I'm going to prepay $459.83. In other words, they're going to make their regular mortgage payment and then give the bank in January, in the same month, an additional $459.83. If they do that, they're paid down to line 2 on their amortization schedule. And their next mortgage payment for February is actually on line 3. Okay. That's what happens. What just happened? Because they paid $459.83 early. That means they just saved themselves $1,663.67 in interest they don't have to pay. You see, when you borrow money from the bank, they're purchasing your equity in this house. They're purchasing it. And what you're doing is buying it back at $450, $460, $470 a month. You're buying it back. You're getting that equity back. Okay, $400, $450 worth of equity here, but it's going to cost you over $1,600 to buy $457 worth of equity. It's going to cost you over $1,600 to buy $459 in equity. But if you give them that money back early, okay, and save the $1,600, let me show you the math on that, okay? Because here is something huge. Real estate investors across the country, what they're working on is say, listen, if I can make 10%, 15%, 20% on my money, that is pretty doggone good. But let me show you what happens when we take $1,600 that we save, $1,665 $63.67 and divide it by the $459.83 that we paid early, so we don't have to pay that interest. So we're going to divide it by 459.83, move the decimal point 2 places, so we get a return on investment of 362%. 362% is what we're getting here. Isn't that amazing? Where else can you take money out of the bank that's making 0.1%, use a small piece of it, put it on the mortgage, and get an ROI of 362%? Real estate investors, you need to start paying attention to the benefit of prepaying these loans. And I'll show you how to do it sustainably so that you do not use all the cash in your reserve fund to do this. I'll show you how to use small amounts of it to save tons of money and interest, but you'll never run out of cash to do it with. I'll show you how to do that so that not only can you save, get this kind of return on your money, you'll still be able to invest money along the way. So you can still invest the monies that you're getting in rent. You'll still be able to invest that, but I'll show you how you can use small amounts of it so that you can also get a 360% return on your money, so you can start getting your equity for free. Grow your equity at 5 to 7 times the regular rate. Cash out 10 to 15 years sooner, because we're taking money, investing that money, and we're taking some of that money to save interest costs, so you get your equity faster and cheaper, so you can cash out refi years sooner, take that money and buy more doors. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to help. So thank you so very much for being here. I'm taking a quick look around to see if there are any other questions. There are none. We've been here for almost hour and 45 minutes. We've been here an hour and 43 minutes. I want to thank you for being here. I also want to share with you a little something that you'll see on my 10K card. All right. So let's go back so I can share with you one last time how you can get this information. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's kind of break out of here. Let me go in here. Let me take this off the screen. All right. So we're back here. Let me change this banner. We're going to change that. Boom. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and talk about if you want to get more information about the P.I.L.L method, get a savings and earnings report, whether you are a residential home buyer or you're a real estate investor. Go to ice10k.com, ice10k.com, get information today on how you can pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. And real estate investors aren't really interested in paying stuff off, but how would you like to be able to cash out refi 10 to 15 years sooner at a much lower interest cost, so you can buy more doors? Oh my goodness, I love it. And get between 3 and 500% return on your money. Let me show you how to do it. Okay. Go to ice10k.com and fill out the information. All right. Also, on the same card, make sure you're getting my #1 best-selling book. All right. The P.I.L.L Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. Make sure you get the book today. All right. Go to ice10k.com, click on the link there. It will take you straight to the book where you can purchase it today. Thank you very much. And go to the same card. All right. And become an affiliate, where we'll actually pay you for sending us people who want to pay off their debt in a better a less expensive, a more efficient way so that they can save that money in interest, invest it in their own families, and get out of debt in about 7 years. Oh, I can't. I absolutely love what we're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today. Don't forget, we're going to be right back here on Wednesday for our live show again. Sunday is going to be a replay. All right. I haven't put it up yet, but Sunday's going to be a replay. But on Wednesday, we're going to be right back here on the 5th. And our subject matter is going to be, if you have a modification, you may have a 40-year loan. Let me show you where the blessing is on that. How to get out of debt on that 40-year loan. Let me see. I think I have it up already. Let me see if I can pull up my, so you guys can see it. I'm going to pull up my YouTube channel. All right. And we'll see what we have here. All right. There it is. Let's see. Finance Fridays. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's put that on the screen right quick. All right. Let me put that on the screen. There we go. All right. All right. Mortgage modified to 40 years. Don't worry. Pay it off in 7. Okay. It's already up. Go ahead and click on the notify me. And then you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Mortgage modified to 40 years. Don't worry. You can pay it off in 7. That's going to be show number 235. This is the first time we've done a show on modification, on how you can benefit from that 40-year mortgage. Thank you, everybody. The last person we're going to hear from is Dr. Eric Thomas, okay, who used the P.I.L.L method himself to pay off all of his debt in record time and made his wife feel so much better. All right. So I'll see you. We're coming back on Sunday for a replay, but don't forget, Wednesday at 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern, we're going to be back on our regular schedule doing 3 live shows a week. Learn about how you can benefit from that modification where you thought you had a 30-year loan, found out that it was a 40, and you felt stuck. Not anymore. We're going to show you where the blessing is and get out of debt in 7. All right. See ya. All right. Let's bring up Mr. Dr. Eric Thomas. And let's see here. There we go. And playing it now. Okay. See you guys.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.